Let's talk a little bit more about that Donald Trump 34 count guilty, shall we? I think there are people that are shocked or surprised, not so much that he's guilty, but his white privilege couldn't get him up out of it. And there are going to be people who are going to hold off and wait to the actual sentencing because he could get home confinement up to 4 years, cleanup duty. One thing's for sure, there won't be no clean slate, and he will be the first, but he shouldn't have been the first. There should have been others. Most of those white USA presidents, if we were actually holding people accountable, we were doing the real due diligence, would have been locked up or charged with something because they broke laws. Yeah, yes, they did. I'm sure Joe Biden with China's got some explaining to do, and now, of course, Bushy boy with weapons of mass destruction, and Bill Clinton's ways, and Richard Nixon, and Ronald Reagan, and Bush Senior. Ah, there's a lot of them, Kennedy's too. But anyway, it happened to fall into the one and only Donald J. Trump. Very well deserving. White privilege couldn't get him out of this one yet, but it still might get him the office. Ain't it so funny how when you're guilty of something and how people have selective memory? Like by the day they got Puffy locked up and talking years you know, and he brought that on himself, but still, Puffy's not getting the benefit of the doubt. But you had a guy who was the most important figure in a country, and he was uh, found liable multiple times, impeached twice in a year, legalized. Now, if they really want to make an example out of him and they were to puffy him up, they'd go after his tax returns. I'm sure Stormy Daniels and some other ones with Pillow Talk got some stuff to say if they really wanted to go after him. If Rolling Stone magazine really wanted to do due diligence on Donald Trump, they could really get it ugly. How much do they want to unfold? How does a man that's been convicted of 34 counts, even have a voice to speak? Because when you saw his expression last night, he looked defeated and winded. He looked like a real gas bag. Believe me, there's a lot more there, but they just don't want it to come out. I don't understand how people can justify a man who knowingly allowed a pandemic, Charlottesville, West Virginia, knowingly, good people on both sides, and also knowingly led an insurrection where his vice president's life was at risk, knowingly. And his buddy Rudy Giuliani, who's fishing in debt right now, hiding and running. All these people connected, Steve Bannon. But see, white male privilege is alive and well in America with 3Ks. I think the surprise is they actually followed through with actually holding the end of the law, something that he thinks he's above. That's how you feel like it's the last days and times because the mighty think they're invincible. They think that they can't be touched. And that's white privilege and white supremacy that's alive and well in America with 3Ks, which people don't talk about because that's why Ron DeSantis got really quiet and low key. He wants in on it, but he doesn't have the kind of see. There's a certain type of white folk that can't even do the stuff Trump did because you have to be anointed. It's like you touch the ring and you're appointed. Why aren't there boycotts of Trump? Why aren't they doing him like they're trying to do what they're doing to Puffy or what they did to R. Kelly? Why not? I'm sorry, but if you're the president of the United States, you carry way more weight than some showbiz entertainer or some athlete or some actor. Where's the outrage? Where's it at? It goes across the globe. It's another egg on the face of America. It's another reminder of how the laughing stock they are with idiots like this that they bestow and honor. And the white male privilege is going to be their Titanic and it's sinking them. And this is what they sell you on with a straight face. This is what they sell you on. A man that's already got found guilty of 34 counts. Always in some trouble. And he too old to be caught up with some mess like this. Getting touched up with a trick to pay hush money. What else has he paid off? those documents and those other things. Oh yeah, you think I forgot about the 90 charges? You think that you miraculously forget about, oh, close to 60 more charges against him? Believe me, there's a lot more. But will they puffy him up? Will they put the puffy on him and make an example out of him? Hmm. Because believe me, if they wanted to, there's a lot more on Trump. And it doesn't make Biden look any good. It looks bad. It's embarrassing. But this is when white male privilege runs the cup over. And they're all guilty of it. And they all take bribes. Who are we kidding? It's on both sides and across whatever party line you are. But it's the white male privilege that is kind of like, wow, that's the one that gets you. Because you don't ever assume that somebody white is actually going to be held accountable for the law, especially when they're in position. That's the real shock and surprise here. Not so much that he's guilty, because ain't none of his people who are pro or against going to deny he's guilty as charged. It's because of the color of his skin. And as the great late Paul Mooney say, he got the complexion for the protection. And then I add for the direction. This is the reality that you see here. It's just that you want to think it's the dawning of a new day. And it's just the cold, cold facts that this is what they're doing. So anyway, that's the real surprise for some. Not that he's guilty, but they actually did something. They're like, wow, this actually had, that's what makes it so surreal. Because we don't ever think of white people being held accountable for nothing in America. They never are. I don't care if they do get charged, they never are held to the same as black folks. We know there's two different justices. There's justice and there's just us. So we'll see what happens with his sentencing. But let's just say, regardless of how they go about it, it wrinkles it, but it ain't getting the kind of reaction like it should. It should be more extreme. Please like, subscribe, work on thoughts, comments, and I do respond. Thank you. Wash your hands. Keep your mind clear. Watch out for another. Share it if you like my piece.